Greetings everyone, trust you all are doing great today. So we'll begin our lesson plan today on enhancing speaking and listening skills using sphero robots. So actually the grade level for this particular lesson plan is ages ranging from ages 11 to 14, and the technology we'll be using for this particular lesson plan is called sphero robots. So we will be guided on the lesson plan for this um, lesson. So we'll start with the first lesson plan, which is lesson objective for this lesson plan. So in this lesson plan, students will be able to use Fero robots to enhance their speaking and listening skills. They will be able to interact using storytelling, verbal commands, and collaborative discussions. They will learn to clearly articulate instructions that will be given to this particular Fero robot. Also, we'll move on to the next, which is the materials that we'll be using for this particular lesson plan. So we'll start with the Fero robot. We'll use the Fero robot for this lesson plan. Secondly, we'll use a tablet or a phone which has the Fero robot app in it. So this we'll go on the printed vocabulary and sentence structure guides for this particular material. That's part of the materials we'll be needing. We'll go lastly with the whiteboard and marker. Okay, so we'll move on to the third, which is the instruct and the model for the warm up and the objective for this discussion. Okay, so we'll start in this particular lesson plan, the warm up. We will start by engaging students in a quick discussion on why speaking and active listening are important in communication. Also, we will introduce the students to the introduce Fero robots to the students and explain how technology can help enhance speaking and listening skills to the students. Also, we'll move on to the next lesson plan, which is the instruct and the model. The instruct and the model will help to demonstrate how Fero robots respond to voice and commands. Yeah, it's very important. We have students to explain how this particular Fero robots will respond to voice and commands. We'll move on to the fifth lesson plan, which is the guided practice. The guided practice will start with number 1, the storytelling with Fero robot. So students will work in pairs. We will be able to group students in pairs. One student will narrate a short story, while the other student will program the Fero robot to act the movement of this particular story. Also, the partner must listen carefully and ensure that the robot movements align with the story events. Very important. So this guided practice is going to help the students they will tell the story, and the story they will tell, another student or other students will program these robots to be able to work according to the movement of the story. It will align with the movement of the story. So we'll move on to the next, which is the SIT, independent practice. Oh yes, independent practice. We have number 1, self-recording and pronunciation. So students will record will be able to record a given command and play them back to analyze pronunciation and clarity. Yeah. So in pairs, students will be able to create dialogues where the robots plays a role in conversation. So this independent practice will help the students because the students will be able to record the commands that are given by these robots, and then they will play them back to analyze whether the robot was able to pronounce, was able to speak clearly. So this will they will be able to analyze this thing. So we have lastly the assessment. The assessment is going to be able to help the student to be able to assess how accurate and the clarity of this particular robot. So was the robot able to speak clearly? Could they be able to listen? Was the robot effective? So we'll start by evaluating students based on how clearly and effective the they gave instructions. So how effective the students give these instructions to the robot. Because remember, whatever instruction you tell the robot to do or you give the robot, that's what it is going to follow. So how were the students able to communicate these instructions to the robot? And was the robot able to follow the instructions clearly? That we will analyze. Also, we will have listening and comprehension. As we will be able to assess how well students follow their peers, the verbal commands, and adjust robot movement accordingly. So we'll be able to assess how well students were able to follow their peers, the verbal commands, and adjust robot movement accordingly. So were the students able to work in pairs? Were they able to work in line? Because if one person is telling the story, another person is there to program the robot. How good were they effective in working together, in making sure the robot respond, in making sure the robot is able to follow their commands? That we will equally have to check. So with giving all this lesson plan, this is how we're going to work with this lesson. We're going to work with this lesson plan in order to help and let the students know how important we need to use this sphero robots and how this particular technology can enhance the speaking and the communication aspect of students, enhance their listening comprehension using this particular robot. So thank you. Hope you all have a blessed day. Bye. Thank you.